this is my WWE Off the Mic episode 8. First, I just want to say thanks for the support. The last few episodes have just been getting better and better, more views and things like that. It's going really well. So for everyone, check the video out, check out the video and give it a thumbs up, and keep trying to help me grow this channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. It does really mean a lot. So. But yeah, in this episode we've got some news on obviously Shane McMahon and his return and what it could mean for the WWE. Shinsuke Nakamura, obviously signed with NXT now. A big match that's been announced for NXT next week, and a few other bits and pieces. Roman Reigns' surgery and a few other bits, but the main thing I wanted to get to was obviously Shane O'Mac's return to Monday Night Raw was beast. It was amazing. It was just so needed. It was so needed for WrestleMania season, to kick off WrestleMania season, because at this point WrestleMania is looking really good after Monday night, but WrestleMania needed Shane McMahon to come back and just drop the bomb that they did on Monday Night Raw, which was great. And obviously there's been a lot of rumours and news since his return, about what he could be doing with the WWE. One of the things, the main thing, is there could be a potential WWE brand split again, a type of thing where Monday Night Raw and Thursday Night SmackDown, a few years ago they used to be separate shows with separate rosters. It could be something like that. And to go along with that, there could be there's news that Triple H could lead after WrestleMania. Triple H, obviously, if he loses the belt, his project then would be to have a NXT invasion onto the main roster, where just NXT invades Monday Night Raw and starts dominating, and NXT is basically the place to be or whatever. So I'm personally in favour of all of that, especially the brand split. Shane McMahon potentially owning Monday Night Raw, because that's what he wanted to do. He just own Monday Night Raw, and then obviously Stephanie and Vince have control of SmackDown, and have that show versus show battle, like they did back in a few years ago, where I used to love where they used to have they would have separate rosters, and your main guys on Raw would be Randy Orton, Batista, John Cena, Triple H, and on SmackDown you had Edge, Undertaker, Rey Mysterio, that type of thing. I loved it when they had separate rosters for each show. I mean, there's no news on this yet or any talk about it. I personally loved the two big titles, the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship. I preferred that more than just the one belt, just having the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Don't get me wrong, the belt is amazing itself, and having the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, obviously because there's no brand split, it makes more sense to just have the one. If there's going to be a brand split, great, that's a great job. A brand split, I think they'd need to have both titles, a World Heavyweight title and a WWE title, like they did a few years ago. Plus, it just gives every pay-per-view, it just gives them another big match. You're probably going to have every pay-per-view a big non-title match, the WWE title match and the World Heavyweight title match. So that's 3 huge matches. Whereas some pay-per-views, WWE's only, like Fastlane, they only really had the one big match. That was that everyone was talking about. The show-stealing match or whatever type thing. Whereas if you bring back the World Heavyweight title and the brand split, and you've got the WWE title and a non-title big match, you've got 3 matches right there that in a 3-hour show you have one each hour. That's gonna get the fans insane, and then you build a couple, you put your IC title match around that, a tag team, Divas, US. There you've got, and with the roster they'll have, with the NXT talent coming up, to the main roster. The injured guys returning: Seth, Randy, John Cena, Cesaro. You bring all those injured guys back. The NXT roster to the main roster, or some of the guys like Sami Zayn, people like Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, people like that. And with the current guys they've got, and you do that brand split, and you have the two big titles, WWE could be, from where they have been just a few months ago, where they'd looked in such a mess. They could go from that to having some of the best years ahead. Seriously, they could have some of the best years going forward with all this talent, and you could bring some NXT. What I loved as well, they had like the WWE draft, where on Monday Night Raw they had the draft and then someone would go from Raw to SmackDown. I love that. That was amazing. You could even have that where like two guys from NXT come up, one's on Raw, one goes to SmackDown. I just think if they're going to have a brand split, they need to have the WWE title and World Heavyweight title. I love those days where they had both big titles. It made, like I said, the pay-per-views better. And WrestleMania, you've got two huge title matches, So you've basically got two main events there. Whether one's earlier on in the show, it's a main event. Plus the Undertaker's main event. Like this year, if you had... So let's go along with the card. You've got Shane McMahon versus Undertaker. That's a main event. Because it's the Undertaker, and it's the stipulation, the Hell in a Cell. It's a main event. Brock Lesnar, Dean Ambrose. That's a main event. That's your one match, at pay-per-view. Like when they had the Undertaker, Brock Lesnar at Hell in a Cell. That's your non-title main event. Then you have Triple H versus Roman Reigns, WWE title. That's 3 main events right there. If you had the World Heavyweight title, that's 4. It just will sell the show hugely and so much better. So if they're going to do that, which there's news and rumors about it, it would be amazing. I think they'd have to bring another big title back, which I'm all in favour for. I love the one title for the one brand, the one roster, 2 separate rosters for each show, and making SmackDown great again is another thing, because I did my results show for SmackDown earlier, and just going through the card top to bottom, it looked like a shocking show. It just didn't look like it would interest me at all. So hopefully they build up that roster. A brand split, I'm totally in favour of. I think a lot of people would like it as well, so that'd be a great thing to do. Next thing I wanted to get to, there was some news on Batista I wanted to talk about. Obviously at the Royal Rumble, Vince McMahon approached Batista concerning a role at WrestleMania, which he turned down, and that role was to be the referee in the main event of WrestleMania 32. Obviously at that point, the plan was all along for Roman Reigns to win at Fastlane. And obviously Vince McMahon wanted Triple H versus Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight title with Batista as the referee to stack the odds even more against Roman Reigns. So that I could have understood and could have seen happening. I think that obviously the most likely, if anyone's going to do it, is Shawn Michaels. Because Batista's not going to be at WrestleMania, guys. I'm pretty sure of that. I think Shawn Michaels is the much more obvious choice for it, and again that will still be putting the odds against Roman Reigns. So because I believe Vince McMahon and Stephanie McMahon will be at ringside for the match anyway. Obviously I think The Rock might be at ringside for Roman Reigns, but just having a guest referee that's in Triple H's corner will stack the odds against Roman Reigns and make Roman Reigns work a lot harder for it. But obviously Batista's turned that down. I would like to see I think there's 2 more matches Triple H should have at WrestleMania, and then I want him off TV for good, because I said in my SmackDown results, I think I've mentioned it in a few other videos, guys, I don't like Triple H. I've never really liked him. I didn't mind him when I first started watching, when he had the long hair and the badass personality, the badass good guy personality. I was, especially when he was when he had Batista with him, and 2009. That was when I was, I didn't mind him, but ever since then I just grew to dislike him, and with all the stuff he's done backstage, and he's not my type of guy, and I'm just not a huge fan. So yeah, that's laptop going off. I think there's 2 more matches Triple H should have before he retires. I would like next year what I think they should do is next year have him compete at WrestleMania 33 against The Rock. They've built it up for the last couple of years. It's it's there to be done. Triple H versus The Rock at WrestleMania 33, and then his last ever match I think should be against another guy where it's a retirement match for both guys. It's their last match. Whoever wins, goes out on top, but they both retire, and it would be a Triple H versus Batista. Because obviously they've had a lot of history together. Batista versus Triple H at WrestleMania 34 to end their careers. Between two great friends, that would be awesome match because of their chemistry in ring as well. So I think that would be a great way for both guys to go out. So that's potential scenario they could do as Triple H's last match. The Rock or Batista is definitely an option. So some other news, obviously the Roman Reigns. As everyone's probably seen, the video that got leaked online of the like blood capsule thing being passed by Byron Saxton on Monday Night Raw. He has had nose surgery, but obviously it wasn't because of the attack. But he apparently has had a like nagging nose injury there. He's had something with his nose for a while, and he had to get it checked out and repaired before it got worse. So he did legitimately have surgery, for those of you who were wondering and weren't too sure, but it wasn't to do with the attack on Monday Night Raw, which did look pretty brutal. That if they didn't give him a blood pack thing to take, that looked like it could have made him bleed anyway. It was a vicious attack on Monday Night Raw, which the crowd went nuts to. But yeah, that was Monday Night Raw. As I said, was a pretty good show. And one other thing that obviously leads to what happened at the end of the show is WWE is expected, and it looks like their product going into WrestleMania 32 is going to be a lot more edgier and dangerous. Whether they do it going past WrestleMania, I'd like them to, but I'm not sure they will. But what I'm trying to say is their product from here to WrestleMania is gonna go away from the PG era. It's gonna be a lot more Attitude Era. It's gonna be a lot more vicious, and they are making the product edgier for the run into WrestleMania. And I think that's a perfect thing because the fans do need to be grasped for this WrestleMania, and everything needs to work. So that's a way that's going to get fans involved, because obviously a lot of fans don't like the PG era, and the best era was Attitude Era. So we'll see how that goes, what they do on Monday Night Raw, how the shows go. And then some news on NXT. Obviously there's they announced on Wednesday that Finn Balor will be having a singles match next week against Neville. Neville's making his return for one match, which is that's going to be amazing. Neville versus Finn Balor is going to be one of the matches of 2016. NXT, WWE, any wrestling company. Finn Balor, Neville, especially on NXT because of how long they really put. NXT's all wrestling basically. They put everything into their wrestling matches, and that'll be like I presume like a 25 half an hour minute match, or at least 20. That'll be one of the matches of the year in my opinion. Neville versus Finn Balor. They're having it to kind of see who was the best NXT champion so far. So that's gonna be amazing. Apart from that, guys, not too much. Obviously, I'll have my episode 9 on Monday, so I'll talk about the news and rumors that comes out over the weekend, and going into Monday Night Raw. So keep a heads up for that video, guys. And yeah, that was my WWE Off the Mic episode 8. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, if you could leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, I really appreciate it. Like I said at the beginning of the video. So yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed, and see you soon. Bye, guys.